one here. We need to factor with solving. So you'll notice the difference here is now we have equations. So we're going to use factoring to solve. So here, because it's equal to 0, we're going to have an answer. We should end up with x equals something. So in the first one, we have no common factor and two terms. So I'm going to use the difference of two perfect squares. So the difference here now is because it's equal to 0, what we do is we set each factor equal to 0, and then here we just need to solve. So here I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. So one of my solutions is x equals -5, and then here we add 5, so my other solution is +5, right? So many of you remember what ends up happening is the sign will end up switching from the factor when you set it equal to 0 and solve. All right, let's look at B. So first, again, we always want to ask, is there a common factor? In B, we have a common factor of x. Excuse the phone. So I'm going to factor out the x. Common factor goes out front, so I'm left with x minus 5. So from here, set both factors equal to 0. Here, this just gives me x equals 0, and when I set x minus 5 equal to 0 and solve, add 5 to both sides, and I get x equals +5. Okay, we have, so again, two solutions here. All right, one more. So in the last one, we've got 3 terms, so we're going to use sum product. So it multiplies to a negative number, so one's plus, one's minus. This one's a little tricky. We want to know what multiplies to -30 and adds up to -13. So it's actually going to be +2 minus 15. 2 times -15 is -30, and 2 plus -15 is -13. So again, we're then going to set each factor equal to 0, which I've done here. And again, you guys I think can see what ends up happening is the sign switches. So here I'm going to subtract 2. So one solution is -2. Here, add 15 to both sides. It might be a little hard to see. Add 15 to both sides. So I get x equals +15. Okay? So again, when you're solving by factoring, everything is the same except at the end you set both factors equal to 0 and solve. Nice work.